Hello children, today we are starting with the new chapter, that is chapter 7. Can you see the pattern? The name of this chapter itself motivates you to explore your surroundings. Why? Because our surroundings are filled with millions of patterns. You might have seen the beautiful patterns on the bodies of different creatures like the butterfly, the snake, the chameleon, or the giraffe or zebra. Fine, but there are no regularities in these patterns. Still, the patterns are beautiful and amazing. But today, we'll focus on the mathematical patterns which are made with numbers or different geometrical shapes. So first you need to know the meaning of the term pattern. So a pattern is a repeated design or a sequence in a series of numbers. Just pay attention on the word repeated. Now this definition will be more clear with the help of these examples. Look at the first example. What do you see? That in this example, we have used the numbers. Fine. So this is a number pattern. Fine. Now, just observe what is happening. The first term or the first digit is 4, then it's 7, then it's 10, then it's 13 and so on. So what do we observe from here? That the second term is greater than the first term. The third term is greater than the first and the second term. That means the pattern is increasing. What is happening here? The second term is greater, as it is greater than the first term, that means the pattern is increasing pattern. So how is it increasing? How do we check? We find the difference between the second and first term first of all. So what is the difference, everybody? 7 minus 4 is 3. The difference between these two terms is of 3 numbers. Now 10 minus 7, the difference between the third and the second term again is 3. The difference between the fourth and the third term again is 3. By 13 minus 10 is 3. So what do we observe? What do we find out? That the rule of this pattern is that every next term increases by the previous term by 3. Clear? So what will happen? So if it's 13 here, the next term will be 16. The next term will be 16 plus 3 is 19 and so on. So what do? In patterns, finding the rule is very important. If you know the rule, you straight away apply it and you come to know about the next term. Now check the second example. What is happening here? First of all, see, in place of numbers, this time we are using geometrical shapes. The first one is a rectangle, then it's a circle. Rectangle, circle. So what do we observe? That once it is the rectangle which is placed, then it's the circle. Again there is repetition, rectangle, circle. So what will be the next term? If it's circle, next will be rectangle. Then next will be circle. So if we know about the rule, then it becomes easier for us to find out the next terms. Now what is happening here? Again, this is a pattern which is made with geometrical shape. We see the triangles. But these triangles are placed in different ways. What is happening? If I take this as the tip of the triangle, then this tip is pointing downwards. In the second one, it is pointing upwards. Then again downwards. In the next one, it will point upwards. Fine. In the next case, it will point downwards. So, beta, this is how we find the rules of these patterns. And then we are easily able to find out the next terms. Okay? So the set of numbers or shapes are arranged according to a rule in a pattern. You'll always find that in a pattern, either the shapes or the numbers are actually arranged according to a fixed rule. If you know the rule, then you know all the terms of that pattern. You can easily find them out. I hope my children are very well aware of the meaning of the term patterns now. So let's move to the next concept, and that is turns. Beta, you need to learn about turns so that you can complete the patterns by observing the turns of different shapes here. You might be asked to find the next two terms in a given pattern. So for that, you need to have understanding of the different types of turns. So the first turn that you will learn about is whole turn. Now what is whole turn? Whole turn is also called full turn or complete turn. Okay? When an object turns in such a way that it comes back to its original position or it again points in the same direction, we say that the object has taken one whole turn. Is it clear to everybody? So, I explained this with the help of these figures now. Now just observe, if I say that this particular object is pointing in A direction. And where is it pointing otherwise? It's pointing in the upward direction, everybody. And this object moves like this and comes back to the original position and again points in the upward direction only. Then what do I see? That this object has taken one whole turn. Fine, everybody. Now, along with turns, you need to have knowledge about the movement of the object. In which direction is the object moving? So, for that, you need to learn about clockwise turn and anti-clockwise turn. When the object moves in the same direction as the movement of the hands of a clock, we say that it is clockwise turn. If you observe, this object was pointing upwards. It started moving like this, again came back to the same position. So what did you observe? The movement was in the same direction as the hands of a clock move. Okay? So we say that it has completed one whole turn clockwise. Have you understood? Shall I tell you with the help of the model of this clock? Now just observe, where is this minute hand pointing? It is pointing in the downward direction, or we can say it is pointing at 6. Fine. And it moves like this as the hands of a clock move and comes back to the same position, and it is again pointing downwards. Then what do we say? That this minute hand of the clock has completed one whole turn or one full turn clockwise. But if the movement of the object is in the opposite direction as the movement of the hands of a clock would be, then we say the turn is anti-clockwise. What did we see in the first example? The object moved in the same direction as the hands of a clock. But here, the object moved in the opposite direction as the hands of a clock. Then in such a case, the turn is one whole only, but it is anti-clockwise. Have you all understood? Now again, I'll show you with the help of this model. Just observe beta, this time the object is pointing towards your right, or we can say it is pointing at 3. How does the minute hand of a clock move? This is how it moves, but this time it moves in the opposite direction and it keeps keeps moving till it reaches the same position and comes back and points in the same direction, that is the right, towards your right. Then what do we say? That this hand has taken one whole turn, but it is anti-clockwise. Now don't feel that one full turn is possible in mathematics itself. It is possible practically also. If I am facing the camera, I turn like this. I complete one full rotation and again I am facing the camera. That means I have taken one full turn. And some of you might have enjoyed the swing which is made with the help of a tire. Then you might have seen kids rotating like this. So what is that? That also is an example of one whole turn. You might have seen the ballet dancers also, and they take one whole turn like this. So what is that? So these all are practical examples of one whole turn.